If you were born after 1970, the likelihood is that you don't own a home, which also means that you've been heavily impacted by one particular part of the cost of living crisis. But politicians and journalists are silent about it. Why is that? This woman, like many of us, was struggling with the cost of living. What happened to her is no accident. It's the result of a system that is designed to push people to the brink. Inflation is the word on everyone's lips, but rental prices have always been inflated, and the cost of living crisis is just making it worse. This graph from Statista shows us how rent prices have increased significantly since 2022. But why is nobody talking about this? Well, because no one's talking about this, I'm going to tell you something that you've probably not heard anyone say before. Landlords are the reason why millions of people are suffering in this country. And it's not because landlords as individuals are evil people. It's because landlordism is inherently based on the idea that you should push people beyond poverty into debt, and in some cases, even death. In my view, it's the number one problem in the UK. Whether you agree with me or not, let me ask you a question. Imagine I took the cost of your rent and took it down by 10% or even 20%. How much more money would you have? Wouldn't that help so much more? And now, another question. What if I took your rent and increased it by 10% or even 20%? What kind of situation are we looking at then? It's here that we realise that landlords effectively have the power to decide the fate and the quality of life of an individual within a click of a finger. It's not right that a group of people who took advantage of cheaper house prices 40 years ago are now able to profiteer off of the suffering of another generation. However, there might be some hope. This is because the government is planning to initiate a 7% rent cap on social landlords. But this doesn't go far enough, as private landlords can still make excessive profits from increasing rents as much as they want year on year. I'd like to see rent caps everywhere for everyone, because it's not fair that landlords can increase their rent prices whilst our wages don't increase. How are we supposed to afford to live? We should not be looking at the current high cost of living as inevitable. It's important to recognise that without record amounts of people in poverty, you don't have records of amounts of profits. That's just how it works under capitalism. People benefit where people suffer. Is this really the world that we want to live in? Let's have a think about that. If you want to know what else the UK should leave behind aside from landlords, check out my video on what the UK needs to cancel in 2023.